As the passionate force behind his adrenaline-fueled, premium driving experience business, Sven Sperling has mastered the art of creating unforgettable luxury off-road adventures in the sand, mud, and snow through his company, Mega Driving Experience. Sven spoke to me from Germany, where he described his process for cultivating each experience, the logistical challenges of traversing the globe with vehicles and clients, and the patience and flexibility required to adapt to the unforeseen elements of each adventure. I cannot wait for you to hear Sven's passion for exploration, his journey to creating a unique business that delivers heart-pounding moments and incredible excursions in breathtaking landscapes around the world. Sven has turned his keen eye for thrilling experiences into a business that transforms the ordinary road trip into an extraordinary off-roading event in places most of us would never go. By the time you hear what Sven has created, you're going to want to buckle up for one of his amazing adventures. I'm Damon Davis, and this is my Discovery Diary with adventure driving entrepreneur Sven Sperling. Sven, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate you making time.
Thank you for having me.
No, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. I was reading about your work with Mega Driving Experiences, and I was so inspired. You know, I've got a young 16-year-old son at home. He's totally into cars. I'm sure he would love to drive something luxury through the mud. My brother-in-law, Adam, also a car guy. I would love to drive something through the mud, but I want to take us back to the beginning, if you don't mind. Will you tell me a little bit about how you even came up with this idea of Mega Driving Experiences, and what is it?
I tried to make a long story short. So my background is actually IT, and my passion was off-road driving. So the business we have today developed out of my personal passion. And so, I was just helping out a friend. He had a company doing those off-road events and stuff like that. And so he engaged me more and more into that topic. And then I got in contact with big brands, and they picked up on my passion and my enthusiasm. And I started it just like a little side business. And today it's a real business. And how it led to the name Mega Driving Experience, I have to tell, the name JT came up with once I was attending his event. And we were talking about what I do. And so he came up with this name, and it's great.
It is great. And it's funny, as soon as I went to the website and I saw the name Mega, I said, I wonder if JT Fox is the one who designed that
Definitely.
particular product line. And so for anybody who doesn't realize who we're talking about, JT Fox is a global entrepreneur. He's got well over 70 companies around the world, huge speaker, wealth coach. And both Sven and I are part of the JT Fox family. We have been investing in ourselves and investing in our own businesses and entrepreneurial endeavors. And so Sven is telling you right now that one of the things he did was take some of JT's advice and create the brand Mega Driving Experiences. That's really cool. I'd love to know, I heard something in what you just said. You said, I took a passion and basically reached out to some luxury brands and things and turned that passion into a business. Can you talk a little bit about how it is that you went from passion to an actual business model? Because I've got passions for things, but I have no idea how I would reach out to a luxury brand and help them to see the value that I'm adding to them through my idea. Talk a little bit about that transition from passion to business.
It's very, very interesting, that question and the path, because it wasn't at all my idea diving into that kind of business. I just did, as a little side job, something I really enjoyed. And if you do something with your heart, with your passion, with your enthusiasm and so forth, then you create results. And if you do that in an authentic way and not just playing it nice or something like that, if you are really the true you, so you are the product, then people pick up on that. And that is really, it was the hook. And this kind of mechanism happens over and over again. There are competition around the world, no doubt. But the way we do it is a little different. And we resonate with special people, and other people resonate with our competition.
Yeah, I can imagine. Tell me a little bit about, you said we do it a little bit differently. Tell me what differentiates your experiences from those of other companies.
If we go for individual clients, I keep my ear very close to the clients. So we don't have like a catalog. We do this, this, and that, and it's that long, and from here to there, from A to B. We have conversations at dinner or lunch or breaks, and then I hear what people like.
Mm-hmm.
I just ask, yeah, would you like to experience something in the snow, something in the sand, or something in the mud? And then listening to our clients and their interest, I come up with new tours right on the spot, and
Mm-hmm.
I create that big image, the picture,
Yeah.
and if they are hooked up by that, we just make it happen.
So tell me, I realize I jumped in because I'm so excited. I saw your website. I've seen the sizzle reel of what all the driving experiences are. I know what I'm talking about. But for anybody who's listening and doesn't understand what a mega driving experience is, can you talk a little bit about what mega driving is, and just, what some of the things are that people really enjoy doing?
It's a combination of luxury on one hand, experience on the other hand, and pure nature on the next end.
Uh-huh.
And it's really a combination because you can go on a racetrack and drive the whole day. But let's say to our clients and to me personally, driving the whole day on a racetrack is kind of boring. But if you drive in real nature, you will come up to an obstacle which you didn't expect. Even you have been there the day before with another group, for example, but the next day, after 20 cars have passed or 10 cars or whatever, some rain, even some deer or whatever animals, the track is changing. And then every single time, every single day, it's different. So although we do the same tour at the same place, it's not the
Mm-hmm.
same tour. First of all, from the circumstances, from the track and the condition, the weather conditions, and from the clients, because every single group is different. Our group size is normally maximum five, six vehicles, the maximum. This is a very intimate group. And there we have the chance and time to guide everyone in their pace at their level, or we are on the same track.
So give me some specifics. I want to know, all right, if I said to you, Sven, I would love to have a snow driving experience. Tell me, where are we going? What kind of vehicle I'm going to be in, and just a little bit about what we might do in the snow.
Okay, if we go in the snow, we would go, yeah, we are based in Europe. We would go to Finland or Sweden or Norway, the Scandinavian countries. And then, depending how much time we have G classes from Mercedes. We have the new brand Ineos Grenadier, which is a very good off-road vehicle too. It's not that comfortable compared to the Mercedes, but it depends. We have different people with different interests. And then we have an experience driving on a lake, on a really ice track kind of.
Uh-huh.
And then we have real off-road track where in the summertime the motocross, the cycles are going there. And then we do this partly prepared tracks because the snow is so high that, yeah, if we don't prepare the tracks, then yeah, we are just lost.
Right.
And then we have another section where we have nothing prepared, and then you have to dig through your way, and you need to have a team in order to achieve it. You need the winches and the hooking on the tree or the car behind you. You
Wow.
have chains on the tires. This is a kind of experience. And then what we combine, it's called driving experience, but we discovered that people are very open to have different experiences at the same big experience. Like we do a tour on a sled with dogs, or we
Wow.
do ice fishing, or we take the snowmobiles. And this is great fun. I enjoy it very much going through the woods. And in the Scandinavian countries, there are sections where you're still allowed to drive wherever you want. And this is great fun.
That's amazing. So what I think I'm hearing from you is it's not just about the driving experience, driving in mud, driving in sand, driving in snow. It's also what you might do when you reach a destination. So we might drive on the snow and ice to a lake, and end up doing some ice fishing, perhaps eating what we catch or what have you.
Exactly.
Or you
Exactly.
might drive in a tropical area and go all the way through the woods, all the way through the mud, over some trees, and you might end up at a waterfall and you end up swimming in this tropical place, that kind of thing. So
You
it's
got the picture.
that's amazing, man. I can't imagine not doing this, and I'm actually pretty excited to try it one day. So I'm hopeful I can come see you in Europe or join you on one of your adventures somewhere. Let me ask you this: business is tough. It's hard to get off the ground. It sounds like you've got some expensive assets. Tell me a little bit about how you overcame the startup challenges. What took you from passion to actual business? I'm sure you had your own vehicle. You could drive it anywhere you wanted. You just had to drive it there. But now you're taking people and getting them to a destination. You're taking luxury vehicles and taking them to a destination. Tell me how you overcame some of the startup challenges that were probably pretty tough in this space.
So let's say we grew comparatively slowly in regards of our own fleet. So we had the opportunity to jump on a big client. It's Mercedes and all about the G class. And right now I'm in Graz in Austria, where the G class gets built, where we run the G class experience center. The seasoning opening is next week. So we have a kind of home playground, let's call it.
Mm,
And so we have here a kind of steady income. And I took those revenues and invested in vehicles. So we have a high-end class vehicles. Usually you drive Toyota Land Cruiser or some other brands, Land Rover, Discovery, Defender, and so forth, or Jeep Wrangler. There are a lot of out there. The luxury one is, I actually know only one guy where you can rent G classes in South Africa, and this is where we
partner with
go
him.
into a niche
Hmm.
where we provide the vehicle where you don't have to bring your own. Most of the competitors, they have the normal off-road vehicles, not the
Yeah,
high-class vehicles, or you drive with your own vehicle.
got you.
And so we target those people who say, okay, I just want to have a once in a lifetime experience in sand, in snow, wherever in the mud. And
Hmm.
then I just fly there. I have a couple of days with fun, and then I fly back or keep moving on.
Do you take the vehicles to the destination, or you partner with someone in that arena that has those vehicles?
No, we take our vehicles to the location, and so the logistic cost is one of the biggest part.
Hmm.
But yeah, then we know our material.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know your
And
vehicles, you know what you're bringing. So, in terms of challenges, though, this sounds like an expensive startup. This isn't like starting an Amazon business where you just need to put something on Amazon and make people, people buy, market. You're actually taking luxury vehicles in a logistical movement across the globe to a specific destination. Tell me about some of the challenges, even moving from passion to a business in that space.
you have to be creative. For example, if we take the vehicles to North Africa, you could do it the classical way, that you put them on a truck and then they have to pass the customs. You have to fill out paperwork a lot. Or we ship them on a truck close to the border or close to a crossing, like in Spain, southern
Hmm.
Spain. And then we fly there, we hop in the cars with our team, and then we drive them as a tourist into Africa. And then we have people flying to Morocco or Tunisia. And then we try to have back-to-back tours so that the cost of logistics gets split through several events. And so this is the way we operate. And as I said, you have to be creative. As long as you can argue it and it's kind of light gray, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It sounds like you customize your experiences to the people that are coming to you. So if I came to you and said, I had some super special thing that I wanted to do, have you ever been overcome by a challenge that you just couldn't meet? Someone had wanted to do something and you're just like, that sounds awesome, but I just don't know how I would do that. Have you ever had one that you just couldn't deliver on?
To be honest, not so far.
Really? That's
Because
cool.
that is really what I love. I love challenges, and we have a very good team. We have in different countries, we have local partners, and it's like everywhere. If you know someone who can help, you have the right connections, you make it happen. So to have an example, the biggest challenge was the request from a car manufacturer to do some shooting for a brand new car. We got notice on Tuesday for next Monday.
Oh gosh.
And the requirement was, it was high season summer vacation, some shooting at the beach where you need a permit, where it's crowded during summer vacation,
Hmm.
in the woods, in mud, at a lake, in the mountains, in the city. And if you go downtown in Europe cities, you sometimes need some permits, so and so forth. And
Yes.
then they want to have some accessories like roof rack and stuff like that, and you have to carry all the equipment to the different locations. And so we made it happen within less than 1 week.
That is absolutely amazing because just those logistics that you talked about right there, the permitting itself can take a long time with a city, let alone ordering the things that you need to trick out the car and make it look cool for the commercial for the different destinations. And then finally, all of those logistical arrangements to get the thing there. I mean, it sounds like you probably had to do a lot of parallel processing, right? I need to
Yeah,
go ahead and set up the logistics to get the vehicles there. And at the same time, I'm applying for the applications for these permits, and hopefully they both happen. I mean, that just sounds unbelievable.
yeah, and to be honest, you have to know people who know the right people.
Mm,
Otherwise, if you go the normal way, you hand in the application and then you wait 2 4 3 weeks, however it takes, then the event is already gone. Or
unbelievable.
to be honest, sometimes we did also the strategy, do it and apologize afterwards.
There you go. Ask for forgiveness is how we say it here. That's absolutely right. Really
Yeah.
cool. So let me ask you, how do you retain your customer base? This isn't something that I go to the grocery store and just buy every weekend. This is a special thing. Tell me a little bit about your customer retention and how you make sure to keep them, engaged and wanting to come back for more.
It's kind of a funnel. We do off road weekends where you can book just 1 day to experience a little bit, or 2 days. And then people get to know us and our people. And they experience how we are, how we operate. They get to know our culture and our
Mhm.
philosophy. And they just feel the real us, how we do those things.
Mhm.
And if they like it, they say, "Oh, I'm curious. I sign up for an extended weekend where we go in the Alps." And then we have, for example, 2 days in a hotel and 1 day in a roof tent. Just to explore, okay, is that something for me, sleeping in a roof tent, or not at all? Because one night you will survive. And in worst case, we will find next door a hotel. And if they like it, then in the evening at the campfire or in the hotel at the bar, we talk about our experiences, our travel locations, destination, and so forth. And then I just observe people where they react, and then I put more of that, what they are interested in. And so we signed them up for 5 day tour in Montenegro in southeastern Europe. Beautiful landscape in the mountains, lakes, clear with a mirror, wild horses.
Oh my
You
gosh.
just wake up with the sunset. It's gorgeous.
It's
Or we
amazing.
take them to Morocco or Tunisia in the dunes, the Sahara Desert, where we sleep in the midst of nowhere in the sand, where you see so many stars you have never seen before. It's silent. You don't hear a fly or anything. It's quiet.
Wow.
There we had already people who had a hard time to fall asleep because it was so silent. They are not used.
These city folk can't get to sleep when it's nice and quiet, right? They
Yeah,
need
yeah.
the white noise and the buzz of the environment around them. That's wild.
Yeah, and so once they have been to the mountains in Eastern Europe, then they jump on the desert tour, and then they jump on the winter tour, and then they like to have the more relaxed version. Like in France, we do a French castle tour with a couple of historic vehicles as well, convertibles. So we take it easy and we drive from wine tasting and nice hotel in old castle, and it's just beautiful scenery, lovely food, and this is another experience.
That's incredible. Wow. I love it. You got me ready to go on vacation and come to your team and let you take care of everything. It just sounds absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and maybe this is one little spice I want to throw in. We have specially for overseas people designed the European tour with the German car manufacturers. So you fly into Munich, we go to the BMW Museum, then we drive to Stuttgart, where we go to the Porsche Museum and Mercedes-Benz Museum, where we go to a hotel where they have theme rooms like a workshop or a car wash. The bed is designed with old
What?
cars, original cars, where you kind of sleep in the car. They get cut off in the middle and then put a mattress into it. And then we drive to buy at the castle Neuschwanstein,
Mm-hmm.
very famous. Then we go into the Alps, gorgeous views. Then we go to Austria, where we go to the G-Class Experience Center. We have one day there. Then we go to the Red Bull racetrack. We have one day on the racetrack. Then we go to Salzburg, where the Red Bull guy has a glass hangar, a hangar for planes built on glass.
Wow.
And there he has every month there's a different chef in the restaurant from
Mm-hmm.
around the world. And then we take a private jet, fly to Mediterranean island. We have a whole hotel for our group with butler, and then we can have speedboat, water ski, and some water stuff.
That is
And then
amazing.
we fly you back to Munich, and then off you go.
And then you go back to your regular life where you wish you lived like that all the time.
Well, this is kind of adrenaline for automobile enthusiasts who like to explore in 8 days some part of Europe, the automobile industry, scenery.
Sure. It
Yeah.
sounds absolutely amazing. Wow. And I was just getting ready to ask you how you sort of innovate on this model because it sounds like it's the kind of thing you could do anywhere. But you also said that there's some competitors around the world. I'm trying to figure out how do you differentiate your business model from the business models of some other folks? What makes you unique?
It's really that we don't have a catalog. We develop our next tour for next year, really having our ear at the client's need. Then we design something. Maybe we have some guys who really are in wine tasting or like gin or like to explore something, have more adrenaline, go for zip line or rafting or helicopter ride around the Alps. It's outstanding. It really grows, and the innovation is basically coming from the conversation with our clients.
Client driven. And that's one of the things that JT talks about a lot is that you got to one, sell yourself. It's not the product. The product will sell itself. I heard you say at the beginning that one of the big things that you do is you make sure that people understand you and your team. And once they get used to how you and your team operate, they get really comfortable. And obviously, these experiences, I'm quite sure, absolutely sell themselves. That's incredible. Let me ask you this real fast. I mentioned at the top that we're both connected to JT Fox. I know he's an amazing, business developer and coach. I'm curious, what kind of advice did JT give you about mega driving experience and how did his advice work out?
It's very simple. If you know JT, it's pretty obvious. Sell something before you create it.
Interesting. How did you do that?
As I said, I just come up with the idea. I talk to people, they like it, and then I collect money, and then I prepare the trip. And the first tour, for example, we don't want to earn money. We have people, and that is kind of exclusive. You are the first ones, kind of the
A test run.
yeah, test run. We have never been there. I can't tell you how it turns out. And this
Hmm.
is something which I personally enjoy a lot, to go somewhere where I've never been before and take the responsibility, take the whole group there.
Hmm.
And we did a trip to Morocco. I haven't booked a single hotel in advance. So we just started in the morning, and then I have my ear at the client, how tired they get, do they need a rest, do they want to explore more of this, more of that, and then we find a place to stay, either in the tent or we find a hotel. And in Morocco, for example, it's great fun to negotiate with the hotels.
Yeah, I'll
And
bet.
and then we had a breakdown with the cooling system of one vehicle,
Mm.
and So I decided at the end, this is part of the experience,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone was curious how we resolve this problem. And so I had a question: do the group wants to continue without that car with the issue with the other tour guy, or do you like to stay together? And the whole group decided we stick
Stay
together.
together. That's right.
And then we went in a little village, and there was a tiny, it's really like a garage at home, where the workshop was. And this guy didn't speak a word, but
Mm-hmm.
he pointed where the issue is. So he took the car apart. Everyone was crowded around him, was observing him, how quick he took the vehicle apart. He took out the cooler, and then he looked at the watch and said, 3 o'clock, I'll be back. And off he went. He left us in his workshop. Nobody was there. It was open. And then 2.5 hours later, he came back. It was fixed, and it lasted till we were back home. And this
Unreal.
experience, yeah, you can buy. It just
Yeah.
happened.
I can't even imagine sort of flying by the seat of your pants like that, but it sounds like you've got that sort of unbelievable ability to be agile in a situation
Yes.
just down pat. And I'm so thankful for you being here with me, Sven. This has been really awesome. I'm excited to go, and I'm sitting in the United States in an office trying to figure out how I can make this happen for me and my family, because it just sounds absolutely cool. Sven, how is it that people can get in touch with you and get in touch with the Mega Driving Experience if they want to actually take this adventure upon themselves?
Megadrivingexperience.com is the website, or look on LinkedIn or other social media for me, Sven Sperling. If you look at the bald hat guy, that's me. And just get in
Fantastic.
contact if you're interested in.
Excellent. Sven Sperling from Germany, Mega Driving Experience. This has been absolutely fantastic, man. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you, buddy.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Take care, man. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.